There are very few fears that a child is born with. Most fears, if not all fears, are learned from other people. No, not all fears. Most fears are learned from other people. So I want to give you some examples and show you just how you put fears on other people and tell you to stop. Why? There's a reason why I talk about self-awareness all the time, because if you understand your own fears and where they're coming from and what's going on, you are less likely to put those fears on somebody else. So here's an example. We're on the beach. Often I'm hearing parents say things to kids and different things like that. And I often hear, don't do this because it's dangerous. Anytime someone says because it's dangerous, you're putting fear on somebody. Anytime you say because you might get hurt. Anytime you say don't do this because it could hurt somebody else. Whatever. If that's the reasoning that people might get hurt, then here's what I'm going to suggest. Stop doing that. Stop saying that. Instead of causing people to fear, instead of frustrating people or putting those fears on people, what I would suggest instead is to give people a skill set. Give people tools to deal with the problem. If there's a legitimate danger, there are legitimate dangers in this world. That's okay. Instead of simply fearing, instead of simply putting your fears on somebody else, build a skill, build a tool that will allow you to take care of the problem. Once you do that, then you're good. Now listen, skills to take care of the problems are not teach kids how to fight so they beat up the bullies. That's not the tool set. That's not the skill. There's always going to be a bigger kid. Here's what I suggest. Help people communicate better. Help people, again, so on the beach, I'm hearing parents all the time say, don't do this, it's dangerous. And listen, if a kid has a life jacket on, most likely it's not crazy dangerous near the shore. But you could teach your kid how to swim. If you teach your kid how to swim, all of a sudden there's far less danger. There's lots of risk in this world. But it's the same risk for everything. The greatest risk to all activities is death. And if you learn how to take care of that risk, teach someone to swim, teach someone to look both ways before they cross the street, teach someone to, whatever it is, okay? Teach somebody to communicate with strangers and to have the self-confidence if they got into a problem, if there's a boy or a girl abusing them in some way, that they can express their emotions and they can expect that somebody won't do that, and they have the skill set to get out of the situation or to call for help, the self-confidence to call for help because they believe somebody will help them. When a kid is doing that, guess what? You have far less to fear. They have far less fear. There's the same risk. Someone could still die. Someone could still get hurt. Having said that, you can mitigate the risk. Teach your kids tools. Teach your friends tools. Teach the people around you tools instead of teaching fear. This breaks my heart as I listen to people giving other people fears. We're born with very few. We mostly learn them from others. Every time you scream when you see a spider, guess what you're teaching your kids? You're teaching them to be scared of spiders. Instead, teach a skill to identify poisonous versus non-poisonous spiders or whatever it is, okay? I think you get the point. Enjoy the week, but take the action step of starting to become aware of your own fears and how you interact with your fears and how you interact with your family because of your fears. And guess what? You'll be okay. They'll be okay. Everyone will learn. And they'll be far better than we were when we were kids. And our parents taught us fears. Don't teach them the same fears.